Hello everybody, my name is Lemon and I my Lemon. I am your coach at Houston Overdrive, and today we have got our IPA Week 11 match. This is the final week of the season before playoff. There's no Week 9 or 10 video. 9 because I was not able to record it because my software was being stupid again. We got 1-0'd, which wasn't too terrible. The way we lost was kind of sucky, but it didn't set us back too far. And Week 10 was a free forfeit win, so that's pretty alright. I actually don't know the standings of where we are based off of Week 10, but off of Week 9, we are in 9th place, and the top 7 go to playoffs, so we do still have a good shot. We currently have a +2 differential and a 5-5, 5-5 win streak, score, 5-5 score, 5 win, 5 loss. This week, though, we're in a really tough match against Coach Yufnik and the West Michigan Whiscash. His team is very threatening with Mega Gardevoir, Garchomp, Ferrothorn, Aerodactyl, Vikavolt, Frostlass, Lantern, Blaziken, Diggersby, Nidoking, and Kabutops. So, we are fighting Garchomp again for probably either the 3rd or 4th time in the season, which is getting a little bit annoying and repetitive. This time, though, we actually have Lapras, so we do have a way to beat it. I, going into it, was expecting Mega Gardevoir, Garchomp, Nidoking, Blaziken, Lantern, and Diggersby. I will say that this is a post-com because we did the battle earlier today, but it was at a time of day where I couldn't record. So apologies for that. We're gonna go and talk about my team for a second here, and then we'll go and look at the replay, and I'll break down exactly what happened. Leading off, we have Choice Scarf, Gardevoir, Anastasia with the Trace ability, Moonblast, Psyshock, Mystical Fire, and Healing Wish. This thing is mainly built to take down Garchomp and Lantern. Moonblast is there for the Garchomp, obviously. Psyshock is there in case of especially defensive Lantern, which is more likely than Vizdef. Mystical Fire is there for the Vikavolt, and because I really want to be able to lower its special attack. And Healing Wish is in case I need to heal Porygon. That's pretty much it. 180 speed, timid, allows me to outspeed. It lets me outspeed Aerodactyl, which Moonblast or Psyshock do a good amount of damage to. Max special attack and a little bit of special defense investment, just because if anything left over, that would be the best thing to invest in. That's pretty much it. Trace, there aren't very many abilities in the pool that would be good for me to grab. A few of them would be Rough Skin, Levitate. That's pretty much it, honestly. We're going to move on, though, to Glitch the Porygon with the Eviolite item and Analytic ability. Teleport, Recover, Ice Beam, and Toxic. So obviously, seeing as he does have 3 ground types, and my team is very ground weak, he is very likely to bring all of them. And Aerodactyl is also pretty likely because it's a very fast offensive threat. So his team is going to be very ice weak this week, most likely. We are bringing Toxic for the Lantern, again, because that thing's a little bit annoying to break. Teleport is there so that I can switch out and safely bring in something like Whimsicott or Gardevoir or Landorus. Recover just so that I can live a little bit longer from some of those a little bit annoying threats. Analytic Ice Beam is a guaranteed 2-hit KO on Nidoking, whereas Sheer Force Life Orb, Nidoking with Focus Blast is a possible 3-hit KO. So we are beating that very easily. That's pretty much it. We are running Vizdef because of the possibility of Scarf Diggersby being a very, very big threat. And we're going to move on now to Raja, the Landorus. Earthquake, Defog, U-Turn, and Knockoff. 208 in speed, 48 in special defense, and max attack. This thing does outspeed Nidoking if it is max speed modest. Yachi Berry is so that I have a chance to live in Ice Beam. Hopefully there so that I can punish Nidoking and get rid of it, because it is a very big threat. Intimidate, because it's the only ability that Landorus Therian form can run. It helps me out with Garchomp, and that's pretty much it. Defog is there because my opponent has a lot of hazards. He has so many hazard setters, so many rockers, so many spikers. He's got Sticky Web with Vikavolt. It's pretty scary how many hazards he has. Earthquake is doing a lot of damage to the majority of his team. Knockoff is just there so I can remove items and 3-hit KO. A couple of things on his team that are a little bit harder for some of the rest of my team to break. We're going to move on now to Remus, the Dusk Lycanroc with the Life Orb and Tough Claws item. 192 in speed allows me to outspeed everything on his team. I believe it's everything. It outspeeds Garchomp. That's what I was speed creeping, was Garchomp. Max attack and 64 in HP. We are running Accelerock, Iron Head, Play Rough, and Close Combat. Close Combat is there for the Diggersby and the Ferrothorn in case he brings it, expecting me not to bring Sun. Play Rough is there for the Garchomp mainly. Iron Head is there for the Mega Gardevoir, and Accelerock is there just for some chip off of things like Scarf Diggersby and very big damage on Aerodactyl. Life Orb allows me to have a 30% boost to all of my attacking moves, as well as Tough Claws giving another 30% boost to all my attacking to all of these moves. So that is a 60% boost to all of these moves, so that can hit his team pretty hard. We have Charmy the Whimsicott with the Leftovers item and Prankster ability, Stun Spore, Charm, Moonblast, and Tailwind. Tailwind is there so that I can use it in front of Nidoking and make it so that Landorus will outspeed the possibility of Scarf Nidoking. Stun Spore is there so I can slow down some of his team, which would be very important for things like Diggersby and Blaziken. Blaziken is not allowed to run speed boost, but keeping it a little bit slower is very good for me. Charm is there so that I can have the attack of things like Blaziken, Diggersby, and Garchomp. Moonblast is there so that I can hit the Garchomp, and I am speed creeping it as well. And Leftovers just for a little bit of longevity. And finally, we have got our Assault Vest Lapras with the Shell Armor ability, Ice Shard, Avalanche, Iron Head, and Liquidation. Max Special Defense, 100 in Attack and Adamant Nature, with 156 EVs in HP. We are running a defensive offensive set this week with physical attacking. Shell Armor is there because Hydration does not help me at all. Water Absorb also doesn't really help me. He doesn't have like an offensive water. Ice Shard is there so that I can hit the Diggersby, Nidoking, and the Garchomp for priority. Avalanche is there because on Nidoking, with the multiplied damage from getting hit, if I get hit that turn from Nidoking, then it's a guaranteed OHKO. Iron Head again for the very scary Mega Gardevoir, and Liquidation is there for stab and general okay coverage. I was considering bringing Drill Run, but Liquidation is just good stab and hits the majority of his team pretty hard. His team, he doesn't have very great switch-ins to Liquidation. Like, he's got Lantern and Ferrothorn is not coming. So we're gonna move on to the replay now. As you can see here, my opponent did bring everything I expected, but no Mega Gardevoir and no what's the other thing? Blaziken. He brought Aerodactyl and Vikavolt, and on the lead turn here, I was like actually considering about how much I underprepped for Vikavolt, which had me a little bit scared because Vikavolt's a powerful Pokemon. It really is, and my team doesn't have like super specially defensive Pokemon. I'm running Fizdef, Porygon. Gardevoir doesn't really want to take 2 Bug Buzzes. Like, it can't really switch into Bug Buzz and OHKO, so it's going to have a little bit of a rough time. Aerodactyl, not too big of a problem because Lapras, Lapras, Porygon, and Lycanroc all beat it. Whimsicott does help me out with it a lot too. But we're going to move on to the first turn. So I wanted to lead with Landorus, I believe I was expecting either Vikavolt or the Nidoking. So this lead is interesting. So he could do a multitude of things here. He could go for agility, expecting me to Stone Edge. Like, what if he was agility weakness policy? That thing would actually be pretty scary to my team. He could have brought multiple different things. The thing I was mainly thinking he was going to do was Energy Ball here, because it is the best way Vikavolt has to hit Therian Landorus. So at this point, I don't want to give him the opportunity to go for a Volt Switch. So I decide to just go for a knockoff, see what item he's holding, maybe figure out what kind of set he is. So I go for it. I outspeed, obviously, because Vibral's very slow, and it's a Focus Sash, and he goes for webs. So Focus Sash tells me that he prepped in case I did, for some reason, bring Sun, which is very good. That's a really good prep on his part. On the off chance that I did bring Sun, because Mega Houndoom, if I got a Flame Charge up, tore through his team. It really did. The problem was actually getting that Flame Charge was very unlikely to happen. Um, so this thing, setting up Sticky Web, and immediately it clicked in my mind, Choice Band Diggersby, and that thing is scary as heck. Like, that is terrifying, because now he still has a 1.5 boost from Choice Band, whether I go for Charm or not. So that's a bit of a tough situation for us, but right here, he's pretty much locked here. He doesn't have a knockoff switch in because he didn't bring his Mega Gardevoir. He doesn't have um, any reason to switch out, again, because of the knockoff pressure. He doesn't have he doesn't have very many options for this right now. So I just keep going. So I went for the defog to get rid of it immediately, and he reveals that he uses Bug Buzz, which does a surprising 31%. So I just keep going for the knockoff because there's no reason he's going to switch here, and even if he does, I'm removing an item. So I keep going for knockoff, going for the kill, and right here, I barely don't kill him, and he kills me off of a crit, which is unfortunate, and I was getting, that turn made me so discouraged, because in my mind, I was losing my best answer to Lantern, because otherwise Lantern was just really annoying to break through. It would take multiple turns, and then there was the obvious option of him making a prediction and going into like Garchomp or something. But with that, I go into the fastest thing on my team that he doesn't have like super great options to, Whimsicott. So I just go for the Moonblast and pick up the kill, and immediately he brings in Garchomp. And there's a multitude of things he could do here. He could be Scarf Poison Jab to outspeed. He could, and in the actual game, he went to Garchomp a little bit slowly, which had me a little bit confused, because like the obvious thing to go into is Nidoking. But Garchomp obviously having that poison jab, um, and it's got very good speeds here. 102, I believe it's 102, is no joke. So the possibility of him being Scarf is definitely there, and so I decide that for safety purposes, I go for the Charm and have his attack. He does go for the Poison Jab, and he does about 70% to me. I get a little bit of HP back from leftovers, and right now, he does not have a single. Porygon comes in for completely free here, so I go and do exactly that because he's just going to go for Poison Jab and try and kill again. And look at how little this does. 6%. 6%. I predicted the Lantern and went for my Toxic, which was going to be really important for me, and I didn't want him to Scald Burn anything that I wanted to bring in, so I went for a Teleport as he goes for Heal Bell and get rid of that poison, which shows me that it is not Assault Vest, which is very good for me. I bring in Gardevoir because I want to trace its ability and figure out if it's Volt Absorb or Water Absorb. It shows me that it is Volt Absorb, and now I am blocking him from going for a Volt Switch. It shows leftovers, and I just start going for Psyshocks because there's no reason for me to do anything else here. He goes for Scald, and it's doing a lot less than Psyshock is to him. The thing that's balancing it out here is definitely him having that leftovers, and he does whittle me down a good amount here with that Scald, and it is ruining, it is making Gardevoir a little bit less effective for later, with that Diggersby there having the possibility of Quick Attack. There wasn't really any way I was going to live a Quick Attack, but had I had a Charm on it, it might have. He does reveal Protect in the previous turn, just so he can get some extra HP recovery. But either way, Psyshock is killing, and he doesn't actually know that I'm scarfed yet. So I do pick up the kill on the Lantern, which is a pretty good start. I think I'm doing pretty good here. And he brings in the Aerodactyl. This thing is pretty scary. Immediately, I was really scared of him just picking up the kill with Aerial Ace. But I mean, I have max HP, max defense Porygon, so I go straight into it, and he goes for Dragon Dance. And I completely forgot that Aerodactyl was allowed to have Dragon Dance in this. So I'm nervous as heck, but I did some calcs, and I know that I can take Stone Edges pretty well. So I stay in, and I go for the Ice Beam, and he misses the Stone Edge, which is really big. I go for the Ice Beam, it does way over half. And he misses the next Stone Edge, which just really, like, I genuinely feel really bad about that, because I'm gonna show you exactly what he did next. What he did next is he sent in his Diggersby, and I know it's Choice Band Diggersby. I do know that because of its priority of going for Sticky Web. I know that it's Choice Band Diggersby. I did the calcs on this turn. A +1 Stone Edge crit would have put me in range of this attack right here. It would have put me in range of dying to that Earthquake. I do 75% with the Ice Beam, and I want to save Porygon for later, and I know that right here I have to sack something off. So I sack off Lycanroc because its main role was that Aerodactyl. And so, like, now all he has left is Ground type, so I'm not even going to bother. Like, Lycanroc doesn't help me as much anymore. So he goes for the Earthquake, it obviously kills, whatever, it's fine. But now I go into Lapras, and I just start clicking Ice Shard. I click Ice Shard, pick up the kill. He goes Nidoking. I'm expecting a Focus Blast. It's a chance to 3-hit KO me. I know I'm good. He goes Thunderbolt. I take a third from it. Avalanche, dead. I did not want to risk a Stone Edge crit here from the Garchomp, so I just went for the Ice Shard, and I completely forgot that Stone Edge can't crit me because I have Shell Smash, or Shell Armor. So yeah, we pick up the win, 4-0. That is a massive, massive win for us. Like, I cannot express how massive this is. Now our differential is +6. We are 6-5, which is, it's like right above 50-50, but it's solid enough to give us a good shot at playoff. And I don't actually know the standings right now. I don't know the Week 10 standings either, but I really think that we have a good shot at playoff. And this game, those Stone Edge misses really mattered. And it just goes to show about how RNG really does play a big role in this game. And it absolutely gets annoying. Oh my gosh, it annoys me so often. But I'm going to see if we make playoff pretty soon. It is currently Friday. I will be seeing if we make playoff probably on Sunday. And I am so nervous for it because so many teams have changed. But the one good thing is that if Yufnik here does make playoff, if I make playoff, I have to fight Garchomp a maximum of 1 time. I don't have to deal with Garchomp anymore. I hate it because of this league. This league has made me grow a hatred for Garchomp. I have fought it so many times, and I get so tired of seeing its face. If you guys enjoyed this video and you really think that we can make playoffs, please do consider liking and subscribing. It shows me that you appreciate this content that I enjoy making myself. We're going to see if we make playoff, and I am so nervous for it, but I'm also super excited either way. Our Hyper Offense team has shown some promise here. We've had a little bit of a rough season, but we've also had some really, really, really good games. And, having a Sun team, we've shown that we don't even need Sun. Lapras has shown its worth in this game alone. Like it wiped out half his team because I mean obviously he brought so many ice weaknesses and it's a Lapras. It has Avalanche. It just bops. I didn't even like I think the important thing in this game is my prep. Um, I think I prepped really, really carefully, and I don't want to sound like super full of myself, but I think I prepped really well. And I think the thing that it comes down to, besides prep, is the way you play the game. And I think that I played this one pretty well. If I did anything different, uh, like if I had chosen to sack off my Whimsicott, then obviously my differential would be the same. But I would lose the opportunity of me going for charms or stun spore. It would have ended so differently. So I think I played that game really well, and I think that in the future I need to be focusing more on how I do play these games because I've been doing a lot of work into the prep, but I'm not thinking enough about what I'm actually doing in the turns, and that's a super important thing to do. But we're gonna move. But that is it, guys. I'm going to see you all either in playoff or in another league. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to see you all later.